Mr. Speaker, I yield myself as much time as I might consume.
The gentleman from Illinois is recognized for as much time as he wishes to consume.
Mr. Speaker, when members of the Energy and Commerce Committee first began to draft a comprehensive bipartisan energy bill in the beginning of 2015, there was a sense of hopefulness, a sense of optimism that the committee will once again set the standard for working together to get things done on behalf of the American people in a spirit of bipartisan cooperation. At the time, Mr. Speaker, many of us on the minority side had enormous expectations that we would draft a bill that would move our energy policy forward in a manner befitting the challenges facing our nation in this, the 21st century. Specifically, Mr. Speaker, from my perspective, a comprehensive energy bill would need to modernize the nation's aging energy infrastructure, change a 21st century workforce, and address the critically important issue of man-made climate change. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, none of these issues are addressed in the bill that we are voting on here today. This 800-page hodgepodge of Republican and corporate priorities is nothing more than a majority wish list of strictly ideological bills, many of which the minority party opposes and the Obama administration do not support and the American people do not support. Outside of just a few minor crumbs thrown in to represent the priorities of the minority party, including my workforce development legislation, the bill almost contains nothing that the American people could support or rally behind. Specifically, Mr. Speaker, the underlying bill, H.R. 8, does little more than take us backwards in terms of energy policy, while also providing loopholes to help industry avoid accountability and to avoid further regulation. H.R. 8 contains efficiency provisions that will actually increase energy use and energy costs to consumers, putting industry interest above the public interest. The bill's hydropower title weakens long-standing environmental review procedures and curtails state, local, and tribal authority over projects in their respective lands. Mr. Speaker, the bill flagrantly binds the U.S. to an outdated dependency on fossil fuels while failing to offer any constructive, forward-looking policies to incentivize the development and the deployment of clean energy. As you know, Mr. Speaker, many of the bills contained in the House amendment include controversial provisions that the minority party has repeatedly opposed at both the committee level as well as here on the House floor. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, many of these same poison pill amendments and bills have already received veto threats from the Obama administration. So, Mr. Speaker, with a bill that fails to modernize our energy infrastructure, that fails to invest in job-creating clean energy technologies, that fails to cut carbon pollution, it is safe, Mr. Speaker, to proclaim to this body that we still have a long, hard, and cumbersome road ahead if we are ever to reach a point of finding consensus, bipartisan consensus. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, I cannot support this bill before us, and I urge my colleagues to oppose it as well. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman from